Welcome back, Year 6, to Session 8 of our Destination Reader Sessions, all about cloud busting by Mallory Blackman. Now, yesterday, we read Chapter 10, where Davy saved Sam from an oncoming car. And now Davy says that Sam's life belongs to him. At the end of Chapter 10, Sam wasn't very happy about it, and he ran away. I wonder what will happen today. Let's remember that any words that I want you to focus on and are particularly important for your learning will be in red. These might be vocabulary words or those sentence starters from your strategy prompt sheet. Questions for you to answer will be in blue, and any time I'm going to ask you to pause the video and write down your answers, you will see green writing. As always, before we start today, please check that you have a copy of the story Cloud Busting by Mallory Blackman, a strategy prompt sheet, as well as a pencil and a piece of paper or your home learning book. Please pause the video here. Make sure that you have everything that you need. Great! Now we're ready to learn. Let's keep reading Cloud Busting by Mallory Blackman. Today we will continue with our reading strategy, Inference. I asked you this question yesterday, but let's refresh our memories. What two things do you use to make an inference? Pause the video now, say your answer out loud, then write your answer in your home learning book. Well done! We do use our background knowledge, things that we already know, as well as clues from the text to read between the lines and make inferences. Awesome work. Quick quiz, Year 6. What is a noun? What is a verb? What is an adverb? In your home learning book, I want you to pause the video now and write down what each of these three parts of speech are. Well done. Now, let's check your answers. Year 6, tell me, what is a noun? Well done. A noun is a person, a place, or a thing. What is a verb? Tell me out loud. Well done. A verb is a doing word, something that you can do. And finally, Year 6, what is an adverb? Tell me out loud. Awesome work. An adverb is a word that describes a verb. It tells us how we did something. So if I walked quickly, walked is my verb, and quickly is my adverb. Let's review some vocabulary today before we begin. Remember, when we review vocabulary, we use my turn, your turn. Our first word is strut. Strut. Yes, strut is a thing that we do. It means to walk properly, where your back is very straight and you feel a bit arrogant, like you're better than other people. That is to strut. Everyone practice strutting. Awesome job. Our second vocabulary word today is shadow. Shadow. Well done. A shadow is a thing. We've learnt about this in science. A shadow is a dark area of shape made by an object blocking light rays. Remember that a shadow is always the exact same shape as the object. Our next word, admire. Admire. Admire is a verb. It's a doing word. If I admire someone, I like or respect something about them. And our last vocabulary word today is sourly. Sourly. Well done. Sourly is an adverb. It means to do something in an unpleasant or unfriendly way. So if you say something sourly, you're saying it unpleasantly. Year 6. Today, our answers will still be 1 or 2 mark answers. Before I move on, let's check your long-term memory. A 1 mark answer needs... Yes, it needs to be short and snappy. Well done. 1 mark questions need a short, snappy answer. Awesome work. How about 2 mark questions? I want you to tell me out loud. 2 mark questions need a... Well done. A P-E answer. They need a point, where you answer the question, and evidence, where you talk about why, or give evidence from the text. Let's turn to page 63 in our cloud-busting text. Today we're reading chapter 11. I will read out loud, and you follow along with your finger. We'll stop at different points to ask and answer some questions. Chapter 11. Shadow. After that, Davy became my shadow. He followed me around like my shadow. In front of my friends, he was still Fizzy Feet. But when it was just us two, he became Davy. Davy, who cracked such bad jokes that I couldn't help laughing. And he said, "Your smile is so big, it's going to fall off your face." Let's stop there for a minute. This is a 1 mark answer I have for you, Year 6. Why do you think that when Sam was with his friends, Davy was still Fizzy Feet? Pause the video now and write down your answer. Awesome work. Here's my answer. I think when Sam was with his friends, Davy was still Fizzy Feet because Sam's friends didn't like Davy. And Sam didn't want to look uncool in front of his friends. Let's keep reading. Make sure that you're with me at the top of page 64. Davy, who said my mum's cooking tasted of sunshine and rainbows, and made her grin and strut like a peacock. "What a sweet boy that Davy is," said Mum. She admired his taste. Davy, who said Dad's homemade table was the best he'd ever seen. Even though Mum said a silent prayer whenever she put anything on it, heavier than a chocolate biscuit. As a table, it was a dead loss. Let's stop there. My question to you, Year 6, is what impression does the reader get of Davy on page 64? Now, before you write, I want you to listen while I think aloud. What impression does the reader get of Davy on page 64? A 2 mark question. Well, I know that I need to answer the question, tell what the impression I get is, and then include evidence to support my answer. Listen to my answer. I think this character, Davy, is kind because he compliments Sam's mum's cooking. He also makes Sam's dad feel good about the table that he made, even though it wasn't that impressive. Because Davy knew that Dad had spent time and effort on the table. So Davy seems kind. He's complimenting people. He's making other people feel good about their work. Your turn now, Year 6. Pause the video and answer the question in your home learning book. Well done. Let's keep reading. We're now at the top of page 65. What a smart boy that Davy is, said Dad. He admired Davy's sense. And when we were alone, when it was just Davy and me, he'd ask, Do you know what stars are? Stars are holes in the floor of heaven. He'd ask, Do you know what dreams are? Dreams are a way for us to live two lives. Huh, I frowned. My mouth turned down. What was he talking about? Did he even know? I read about a man, said Davy, who once dreamt that he was a butterfly. Butterfly, flutter by, gently with the breeze, as it blows you with its ease, through the flowers, past the trees. So butterfly, flutter by, butterfly. Did you make that up? I asked, wondering how we'd got onto this subject. Yes, I did, smiled Davy. It shows, I replied sourly. Davy grinned at me. So anyway, this man once dreamt he was a butterfly, and he woke up and wondered if he was a man who dreamt he was a butterfly, or a butterfly who was now dreaming he was a man. Davy, where do you get this stuff from? You're making my head hurt, I groaned. I read it, see it, think it, hear it, taste it. Taste it! What's your favorite food? Davy asked. Roast lamb, the way Mum makes it. And rice and roast parsnips, the way Mum makes them. I licked my lips at thought. And what does it taste like? Asked Davy. I frowned. Roast lamb and rice tastes like roast lamb and rice. Use your imagination, Davy urged. When you eat it, how does it make you feel? What does it remind you of? What thoughts enter your head as you eat? I considered. I think, what lovely roast lamb and rice. Doesn't it taste like starbeams on your tongue, or daydreams in your mouth, or wishes down your throat, or happiness in your stomach, or a headache in my brain, I grumbled. Davy was really making my head hurt. There's more than one way to look at something, said Davy, adding, I know you think I'm different, unique, special, individual. The word I'm thinking of is weird, I said. Davy grinned. Well, I'm glad. The worst thing in the world, no, the worst thing in the universe, would be to look and walk and talk and think like everyone else. I looked at Davy then, really looked at him, and I realized something strange. He meant every word. And even though talking to Davy sometimes did my head in, at least he had something to say, a way that was all his own. I guess what I'm trying to say is, he wasn't the least bit boring. Alex and I talked about football and other sports. Football results and films sometimes. Football players and girls sometimes. Football tactics and school sometimes. But mainly football. Mostly football. Davy and I talked about the earth as a football. The stars as spectators. Girls as aliens. Teachers as robots or nutbags or demons. Films to walk into. Books to hold on to. Music to live for. Eminem and Mozart. Jobs to grow up for. Dreams to stay young with. Davy and I talked about anything and everything. Let's stop there, Year 6. It's your turn, because I've been reading for a while now. I want you to answer this question. How is Sam's friendship with Davy different than his friendship with Alex and his other friends? Pause the video now and write your answer in your home learning book. Well done. Here's my answer. Sam and Davy's friendship is different than Sam's other friendships because they have more unique and meaningful conversations. That's my point 1. Now, I give my evidence for my second mark. They talk about anything and everything, whereas Sam and his other friends seem to talk about the same boring things all the time. Like football. All right, Year 6, we're going to stop there. I know you're thinking, Miss, we're in the middle of a chapter. We can't stop. But we're going to, and tomorrow we'll continue on with Chapter 11. At the end of our session, I would like you to answer this question in a few sentences or a paragraph in your home learning book. Do you have any friendships that feel like Sam and Davy's, where you can talk about anything and everything? If yes, how does this friendship make you feel? If not, would you like to have a friendship like this? Why? I would love to see your answers to this question, Year 6. I'm really interested to know what you think. That's it for today. We are now done Session 8. I will see you again tomorrow for Session 9 as we continue to read Cloud Busting.